Hello, my beautiful loves, and welcome to your general check-in love reading, yours and theirs type of energy, and tea with me on your lovely Sunday night. And I am having Harney and Sons Hot Cinnamon Spice, which is my very favorite tea of all time, in case anyone cares. However, let's just remember this is a general reading, so take what resonates, and if it doesn't apply to you, just toss it and move along and don't worry about it. Hopefully the next one will, or perhaps it will resonate with someone else. So let's go ahead and try to get in here and see what we've got as far as your energy and their energy. I know that can be changing daily, especially if you've had our interactions with them. So we are looking for the collective's energy here, please. I hope everybody's been having a lovely weekend. For me, this is a long weekend. My kids are off school tomorrow for an in-service day at the lovely Catholic school. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And they stayed with Grandma also, so an extra, whoa, wow, I'm throwing stuff here. A little too many for that, but a little extra day off. So, all right, for the collective here, please. What do we got for the collective's energy here, please? All right, so this is your energy. Okay. And this is really your energy, what you're thinking, your energy with regards to your person. This is their energy with regards to you, kind of what you're feeling about them. This is what they are thinking themselves about you. So this is kind of what you're thinking about them. This is what they're thinking about you, right? And this is what you're thinking about them, right? So of course we know what we think that they're thinking. We know what we think we're thinking about them, right? But let's see kind of how we're going to act upon it. So this is how they're going to act towards you, of course. And this is how they're going to act towards, or you're rather going to act towards them. And let's see what your challenge will be. Wow, the moon is your challenge card. Well, that's some good confusion, right? And what you don't see coming is the High Priestess. I mean, these are some big cards, guys. All right, so your energy as far as what you feel like is going on, right, with respect to them right now. You have Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles, okay? So ultimately, I feel like you are really kind of juggling and making decisions. And if you did watch my last reading, you kind of saw that the ending of the reading, oddly enough, was that you had kind of decided, for those of you that it did resonate with, you decided to potentially juggle moving forward with some, different options, maybe multiple people, maybe this person, as well as maybe trying to, entertain the notion of new people, keeping yourself open, but kind of trying to juggle some new options. And I see that coming into play here, right? I see you're still kind of in that phase of, I might try to juggle those options, right? I'm still going to keep my options open. But I do think that you're more in line of, I'm keeping those options open so that I can kind of make a decision, right? I feel like you are still at that point where you want something so much more stable, right? You want something more stable. You want something stronger. You want something more reliable, but you're not going to close yourself off until you feel like you have a viable decision, right? A viable choice, right? And I think that's why you're fine with juggling it. So I kind of think with that coming in the first row there, and it kind of being your last decision in the last reading I did, I almost think that reaffirms that situation that many of you have decided, you know what, why not keep my options open? Why not play the field a bit, maybe, perhaps? Let's see what their take on their personal thoughts are right now. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Hangman. And again, this is very in line with my last reading as well, because a big part of what I keep seeing for your person is that they are very much focused on work, okay? They're focused on themselves, their personal growth, their personal, I don't want to say fortune, but I think they are that kind of person who is very much driven by their work, their success, their job, or their, their materialistic type of items, perhaps maybe their car, maybe their home, maybe their, whatever, financial types of things. So I feel like this is kind of where they're really kind of putting their focus right now, right? But I think they're still in a very deep thought process about you, okay? I think while that they are still, putting a lot into work, again, collaborating with people and working with people, I still think that a lot of it is, that's kind of their energy with you, is that, they want to figure out a way to work you into their way. Essentially, that's what they're thinking about. How do they work you into their lifestyle? But that's not what you're about, okay? And I think that's been part of the problem all along. Throughout my readings, my general love readings here that I've been seeing, that's been a big part of why you guys, the collective and your person has seen to, I think you've not seen eye to eye in that regard, is that you're looking for more of a well-rounded person who doesn't backburner you, who doesn't treat you as an option, who doesn't choose, work or business or other things over you, that may, include you, as, they include work as part of the package, right? You don't want them to be, a scrub. We don't want no scrubs. Gotcha. But you don't feel like that's the end all be all. You feel like you should be the priority one, right? At this point in the relationship anyway. I think for most of you, you guys have kind of gone through things with this person multiple times. This is not a new situation. You've given them chances. You've been through things with this person. And at this point, if you are not priority, right? Because they're established, right? It'd be different if they were trying to get a business off the ground and you were new, but the business was there, you've got to get that first so that they can build themselves up to provide you a nice home and, that kind of, thing. Obviously that would be a different situation, but I'm not feeling that situation here, right? So, this isn't a thing where, hey, I've got to get myself financially stable before I can, enter into a relationship with anybody to provide a good, stable, background. This person's been stable. That's never been the question. The question is, why are they putting you on the back burner for something that they already have plenty of stability in, right? You're just tired of being second to, finances, money, work, they would choose to do this over spend time with you, or you feel like you're coming second, right? So I feel like that's been a huge issue. And I feel like that's what they're thinking, is that how can I work them in to where they would feel a little bit more included enough to keep them around, right? Because I feel like you've pulled yourself way back. They know that, they see that, they're thinking about that, right? They're not crazy. They see that you pulled yourself way back. They feel, definitely, we saw it in the last reading, I think we're seeing it in this reading, that you might be dealing with other people. You might have other options that you may or may not be taking. They know what's up, right? They're thinking this through. They're not dumb, right? We know this about your person. But at the same time, they're trying to figure out how can they give you just enough to feel like you're incorporated in their life, but still, this is going to take precedence, right? Their focus on their work, their finances, their money, their income, their whatever, that's going to be main focus, right? And you're like, I'm not having that, right? So what is your kind of energy towards them, right? Like, what are you thinking that they need to kind of get on board with? Like, if something's going to give, right? What's the situation here? So for you, we have the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords. So again, I feel like for you, you're thinking that either they need to make the change or you're standing firm. on that whole idea that you're walking away, right? It's going to be the ending, final nail in the coffin situation, because you're not asking for too much for a solid foundation after this long, this many options. You know that they have the means, the time's been put in. You know, you're not asking for something overnight, right? This isn't like, hey, we've been dating a week and I'm wanting you to buy me a house, move in with me, buy us a car together, have kids. You know, it's not that kind of situation. This is something that's been gradual. You've given them time, you've given them opportunity, you've given them effort. This isn't something where you're asking for something that's out of their, you know, ability level. Of course, if it's something like that, you know, you just want a firm, solid foundation. That's a commitment, right? Something that shows you they're serious about putting you first, okay? And otherwise, you're saying, that's it. Otherwise, I'm taking my, you know, I'm taking my toys and I'm going elsewhere. I'm taking my talents, I'm going elsewhere, my abilities, and it's going to be the final nail in the coffin, right? That's it. That's where it is, because enough's enough. And I'm not going to be breadcrumbed, right? If you think you're going to give me just enough to kind of work me in, you know, not going to happen. I'll be able to see through that. Not stupid. Been there, done that, right? So let's see what their situation is. 5 of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Swords. So I feel like they do feel like they have some internal conflict, okay? They are very much a thoughtful person as far as they want to put everything in a pragmatic, logical sense. That King of Swords is letting me know that they're logically really trying to figure out how to make this work, okay? I do think that they want to be with you, but they have to legitimize it to themselves somehow. How can we make this work without me giving up anything that I find is important, right? How can I work you in, right? And it's a conflict, and it's a conflict within themselves. Like, you know, how can I make this so that I can put this person on their foundation they want enough anyway, to where they won't take off, they won't consider it end all be all, nail in the coffin, done with me, right? But at the same time, it's kind of an internal conflict with them, right? Because everything in their logic says, if I have to, you know, if I have to cater to this person's emotional needs and, you know, their mental needs and their social needs and their expectations and all their lovey-dovey needs and all that, then that's taking away time from my logical stuff, you know. And I work on the logic, right? I work on the pragmatic. I know how to do my job. I know how to handle business. I know how to take care of X, Y, and Z. They're that person that when you go to them with a problem, they're not going to just listen. They're going to come up with 8 solutions, and you're like, listen, I didn't need a solution. I just wanted you to hear me, right? But that's not how they work at all. At all, right? That's this person, right? So, but they see you as the Sun, right? They see you as an absolutely imperative part of their life, right? That's where their internal turmoil's coming from, right? They're like, what in the crap am I going to do? Because I don't want to lose this person. I don't want that final nail in the coffin. Not at all. No way do I want that. But at the same time, how in the world am I supposed to get all emotional and cater to everything that they need without it taking up, you know, the time that I need for X, Y, and Z, or be able to have enough of me to go around with all my business stuff and all my, you know, logical stuff and all that they want me to do. And, you know, you may be saying, hey, why don't you kind of back away from some of the business and start looking at retiring? Hey, why don't we take some more vacations? And they're thinking, vacation? That's just crazy talk, you know? That's like taken away for no apparent reason, because they see vacation as like, that's taken away from my work time and my money time, where they're like looking at it as, you know, they enjoy it, right? And you're looking at that as, you know, they live to work, and you're like, but you should be just working to live, right? You work so that you can afford to live, right? Live a little, right? And they're like the opposite. So it's almost kind of like a clash there, but yet they really have feelings for you. They really do. It's just that they don't know how to process it in a way that is going to keep you happy and them happy at the same time. So their logic, even though that they are, you know, they're good at what they do, but they're so logical that they can't even bring themselves to understand how to manage your emotional needs, desires, your need for that, you know, and I don't even think they can communicate that very well either, if that makes sense. Like they're having trouble even communicating that. So let's see how you're going to move towards them, okay? And we'll actually flip all of these because I think a lot of times you really need to see the full perspective of how they're moving and you're moving to kind of get somewhere. So we've got Four of Pentacles, we've got Ace of Cups, and we've got Page of Swords on you, okay? And I feel like for you, again, the way you're going to move towards them is, I really feel like you are really going to play it close to the vest, right? I really and truly feel like this Ace of Cups energy is you wanting more. You want more, right? You have to have more. If they're not going to give it to you, you're going to find it some other way. And if that means that you're juggling, you're going to continue to do so until you find exactly what you want. And I think that's apparent in the end of the last reading. And I think it's apparent in the beginning here, right? I think you are looking for a good decision, a good choice, a good option, but you're not going to settle until you get one. And if that means playing the field, if that means seeing what all's out there, if that means keeping this person around and seeing, hey, maybe they will come to their senses someday, maybe they won't. And if they don't, at least I haven't invested everything in them. I haven't put all my eggs in that basket, right? Because I have a lot of love to give and I deserve a whole lot. So I'm going to play it pretty close to the vest, right? I'm going to keep my emotions, you know, kind of tight here, right? As far as that goes, right? Because I don't want to throw everything in here to this person. I can't do it anymore. I've done it for too long and it's just been painful, honestly. Every time I think I'm getting somewhere, they back out of that commitment I need, or that next step I need, or whatever it is I need them to do to really move forward with me, right? And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of putting all my, putting all my eggs in one basket, putting all my coins in one bank, right? All my investments, I need to diversify, right? I'm not going to put it all in one bank account or one investment and it explode, right? Not going to happen. So this Page of Swords, I feel like, you know, if somebody's coming into you as an option, you're going to allow that, right? I feel like you're open to those opportunities. That's the opportunities you're allowing yourself to be open to. And I think it's very similar to that same vibe that you had in the last reading and exactly what we're seeing here in the beginning of this reading. You're going to continue that, right? You don't want any more than they want you to. Ten of Swords this, right? 86 it, cut it off. You don't want that because letting go of them is very hard for you. You do have emotional tie to them. You have time invested in them. You care about them and you know they care about you. I mean, you can see it in the cards, but you also know it in person. So it's not just that, it's just that they're not giving it to you, you know, the way you need it to be given emotionally. The love, the compassion, the energy, the vibrations, you know, it's just not happening. The connection, the definitely not the commitments. Okay. That's just not coming in the way you want, the way you need. The level is not there. And that's very hard for you. And as much as you want to say, forget it, I'm done, I don't care, you can just keep it. You're a commitment phobe and I don't care and I'm walking away. You really just can't do that. So you're still keeping that line of communication open, hoping that someday that will change. And it could possibly. It hasn't yet, and I don't, but you're still keeping, now you're at a point though where you are opening up your options, where before I think you were very much hung solely up on this person. So I think you're starting to move in a good way, because if this person doesn't open up and you start meeting other options and you start meeting somebody who really is more in line with you, in sync with you, in a level of type of energy with you, on par with you and what you want and what you need, more so, it will make it much better and easier for you to kind of move on. And I don't think, as long as you're open and honest with everybody, I don't think that that's a problem, really and truly, because I don't think you've done anything wrong here with giving this person that, doing that, because this person you've given a million chances to. As far as I can tell, I feel like you've given this person so many chances. It's not that you haven't given them every opportunity to be with you. You've given them your heart, your soul. You've given them every opportunity. You've been, put your eggs all in that basket many times, I feel like, for some of you maybe once, twice, maybe some of you many more times, but they've had ample opportunity. Okay. At this point, if they're not ready to do anything, then you know what? Why shouldn't you be allowed to kind of play the field, look elsewhere? If they're not committing to you, that's on them at this point, right? So, but let's see how they're going to move towards you. Okay. Could change things. We have the Hermit. That's not boding well. We have the Magician. So they do have a lot of tools at their disposal they could pull out. They might pull out some tricks, but however, do remember the Magician can pull some trickery on you, okay? And again, this person has been known to make false promises throughout your relationship. They have made that kind of, oh yeah, we'll work towards that. Oh yeah, let's talk about that commitment. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. They may even go as far as like, oh, we'll go look at homes. We'll go look at rings. We'll go look at whatever it is that your level is on, okay? They may even go that far, but then all of a sudden when push comes to shove, nothing comes to fruition, right? Nothing ever kind of actually, comes of it, right? It never actually materializes, okay? So keep that in mind. The Magician can be very much a trickster, okay? But we have the Three of Wands here. And with this and the Hermit card, it does make me think that this person is kind of withdrawing a bit to themselves to think, okay, of ways. And the reason is because of this, you being the Sun here to them, their internal conflict, and their King of Swords, which is a very thoughtful, a very mentally heavy card, okay? So that is kind of making me think that this Hermit here, right, and this Three of Wands, as the Magician is next to it, it makes me think that they may be really and truly taking a step back, okay? That they are really starting to think, I can't lose this person. They are the Sun. They are my central figure, and I can't lose this person, right? So how is it that I can go about, I'm going to pull myself back, maybe a little from work, maybe from anybody else who's trying to be in my life, friends who might be trying to lead me astray, or with other people, or if there was any other, potential suitors in their circle or life or whatever, they may be trying to pull themselves back from that as well, okay, if that was a situation, into a hermit phase a little bit, so that they can really and truly think about, what can I do? What kind of trickery, what kind of magic can I put together, really, and really kind of analyzing, what can I pull together to give this person what they need and still maintain myself, okay? Still maintain who I am, which is a person who really enjoys, the idea, the concept of working, making money, being a business person, or being a material type of driven person, or, that kind of thing, right? A pragmatic person, a logical person, maybe a scared of commitment person is who they really are. Maybe they have a history of that kind of stuff. So that's why they initially threw themselves in work, because of a really bad relationship a long time ago. Who knows? But regardless, I feel like they are trying something. Now, does that mean they're going to come at you right now? No. I think they are stepping back to find a way to see if it's possible to give you what you want, and also still be who they are, who they really are? Is there a way to fuse together what you need and want without them losing who they really are at their core, okay? And make it work. Because I think they really, really, really do want it to work. They do not want to lose you, okay? And I think for them, that's a big step, okay? That's as close to commitment as they can get right now, okay? Is really trying to figure out how to make you guys actually work together. And I think that's more than they've really done up till this point. I think up to this point, all they've done is just talk and tell you what you want to hear. And then when you kind of came back or let it go or let it slide for a while, you know, and then when you kind of started pushing a little bit more, they'd, oh, okay, we'll talk about it. And then it never materialized and they kind of let it slide. And, you know, but now they're actually really trying to figure out how to actually make it a reality. So I think this is really good news if you're interested in this person still very much. But I think part of that is too because they see that there is a potential they could lose you. And but I do feel like, honestly, everything in me, all my intuition is telling me it's not just because they're afraid to lose you and it's more of an ego thing. I feel like this is that they're actually ready to put thought into it. Maybe they're getting a little bit older. Maybe they're seeing that, you know, maybe more of their friends are getting in more serious relationships. Maybe they're just really at that point where they know that now it's different for you. You're actually considering other people when you never did that before. Maybe those kinds of things, and they really are scared to lose you. I'm not sure, but I do feel like things are different this time for them. The challenge is the moon. And I think that is the biggest challenge here is, honestly, you don't know what they're doing, okay? And that's scaring you because you're not talking to them, and I'm sitting on my own foot, that's why it's hurting me, so sorry. You know, you're not really talking to them as much anyway. Maybe not at all, maybe not as much. So you're not really having this communication. And for some of you, that's very difficult. So you feel like you're in the dark. You don't know what they're doing, and that's driving you insane, okay? So that's bothering you a lot. For them, this moon is very much a shroud of confusion, okay? And that's what they're dealing with here. They don't know how to give you what you want, that commitment, that foundation, that whatever it may be, without losing a little bit of themselves. So, you know, maybe you're wanting a house. Maybe you live in different areas, okay? Maybe to move in with you, right? Or live with you or buy a home with you, they would have to be away from their work or change jobs or change whatever, right? Big step, right? Something has to give. We got to figure that out. It's very confusing. What would happen? How do we work that out? Then what, right? If you want to get married, how does this all work together? What if there's kids involved? You know, it's very much not knowing for them. This is something they've never been a part of. And for them especially, this is something they've never actually gone this deep before into actually considering, I don't think. I think this is a whole new level for them, honestly. I think the rest of the time they really felt like as long as they kept just telling you what you wanted to hear, smoothing it over, you'd let it ride for a little bit longer. If you started pushing a little bit more, tell you what you want to hear, and they could just keep going on like that forever. But now that you are pulling away, now that you might be possibly, you know, keeping options open, they're afraid that somebody might come along and actually scoop you up and you'd be gone forever because they didn't give you what, you know, somebody else would. It's unbearable for them to think about. I really believe that. So I feel like they are at that point where they're like, this is all uncharted territory for me, but I've got to figure it out, right? So that's a challenge for them especially. But they're pulling out the big guns here, brain power wise, trying. So, you know, at least that is a positive, I think, okay, for you. Now, what you don't see coming is the High Priestess, and that is a choice. Ooh. And for you guys, I feel like this is a serious, emotionally heavy choice, which is letting me, my intuition is telling me that you are going to meet someone. Okay, and I felt like that in the last reading. I felt like there was I believe it was a Knight of Pentacles. I could be wrong, check that out, but I believe it was the Knight of Pentacles that I felt was going to come in, and you needed to not miss that opportunity if you were serious about looking elsewhere, just in case, because I felt like they might be a plausible option for you. And I do feel like still there is going to be an option that might come in, could be this again, but an option of somebody who is going to be more in line too of something you might be interested in. And as that person becomes more somebody that you become closer to or more interested in, or they express their interest in you more, that's where this person may come up with the answer or an idea, or come to the plate and say, hey, listen, can we try this? Can we try that? Can we, I want something. I want to do something. What can I do? And you're going to have a really, really, really emotionally tough decision to say, okay, do I believe this person enough in my soul? Do I trust them enough that they are serious this time to allow them the chance? Or do I want to say, you know what? Let me give this new person their opportunity first and see what happens. Let it ride. Okay, but I do feel like this may be something that you don't see coming. And right under that, funny enough, is the Two of Cups. So again, and right under that is the Justice card. Okay, so again, for those of you who feel like you haven't been treated justly, you're going to get justice. The question there is, again though, is the justice somebody new is coming in and going to give you what this person would not, right? And you're going to take that opportunity? Or is the justice that you finally get a choice that makes the person you really always wanted all along step up to the plate and give you what you wanted all along, right? And that is kind of something that only you will know. But that again is why this makes this such an emotional decision, right? So again, big things on the horizon for you. So I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that other great stuff. And I hope to see you back super duper soon. And yeah, that's all. Have a good one. Bye.